Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So Bitcoin's price action has been extremely volatile lately, nuking into the weekly candle close and of course Trump's inauguration tomorrow morning. We're going to dive into the charts today to talk about the effects of the recent price action, particularly that weekly close and what it means for the future of Bitcoin, as well as the short-term price action. As always though, before we get into all that, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram channel, and if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets and stop losses. Okay guys, so diving into the charts, we can see it has been an absolutely insane last couple of days for the price action over here, and moving into the weekend, in fact, things were actually looking quite good, right? We had just pushed above 102.5k resistance. We had printed a doji candle there, retesting that as a base of support, and as far as it looked over here, bouncing. But then on Sunday, what we ended up seeing was a rejection, a massive rejection from $105,000 resistance, that upper level there, and the all-time high sort of liquidity zone, pushing Bitcoin all the way back down past 102.5 and so far retesting 100k support. So what on earth is going on? If we take a look at Bitcoin liquidations, they were 115 million yesterday, and across the entire cryptocurrency market we had a total of over $1 billion in liquidations, 830 million of those being longs. So one of the larger causes of this, massive sell-off price action, aside from, weekend volatility and a selling off sort of event moving into Trump's inauguration, is recent developments in the meme coin market. So on Saturday afternoon, Trump released his own meme coin. It's just Trump with like the image being like him fist pumping after his assassination attempt, or in a dressel to his assassination attempt. And this coin has done crazy. It did move up to around $61 billion in market cap over a 24-hour period or 48-hour period, which is insane. Pretty classic for meme coins, I guess. Some of them do that. And then this morning's crash started when Melania, or Trump's wife, released her own meme coin as well. And that has, I wouldn't say it's done as insanely, but it still has rallied a fair bit. It's still very, very fresh. So waiting for that sort of like crash and then re-rally, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Essentially what we've seen though is a massive amount of money taken out of the existing cryptocurrency market. If we take a look at Total 3 has absolutely plummeted over that weekend period, particularly on Saturday and Sunday. And so we can see it's had pretty ghastly effects on the crypto market and Bitcoin. So let's dive into the charts today and really talk about what that means. What are the consequences? How steep do they run? And what are the signs we have for bullish reversal or potential bearish continuations? Before we get into the rest of the video, guys, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, BTC. We can get 15% off all of your trading fees and up to $5,500 in sign-up rewards when you create your free account using the link down in my description box. BTC is an emerging cryptocurrency exchange committed to providing you with a secure, convenient, and highly functional trading and investment platform. Available across all countries as a non-KYC exchange, get global access to over 150 trading pairs with minimal fees on both spot and futures contracts. Join today to get $5,500 in sign-up rewards and get 15% off all of your trading fees by signing up using the link in my bio or by using the code 1GG3 when you create your account. So starting off our analysis on the weekly chart, let's talk about the effects of the recent short time frame price action on the weekly candle close. So every single Monday we have a weekly close in Australia at 10 a.m. And what we were really looking for in this weekly candle close was for it to engulf the weekly close for the prior all-time high here at around $104.5 thousand. And just this morning when I woke up, it did look potentially quite likely. We were retesting this upper level of resistance once again at 105.7, but unfortunately as soon as Melania released that coin, we saw a massive plummet. So the close itself was around $100,000 or $101,000, and we have lost a couple levels of support along the way. So what this weekly close tells us is that as opposed to seeing a massive surge of strength in this retest of resistance over here that would very likely lead to a bullish continuation above $108,000 in the following week, we've now seen a little bit less of a bullish close, right? So it's still bullish in the fact that we've held above this macro horizontal channel over here. We held above 100k support, but it does tell us that over this next week of price action, it's more likely that we are not going to be able to push above 100k resistance, right? And of course, potentially even ladder downwards, depending on how the short time frame price action reacts to $100,000. If we take a look at the daily chart, we can see that the current daily candle is now retesting 100k, or the upper range of this macro horizontal channel, as a base of support, and we need that to hold to facilitate a bullish reversal here for Bitcoin and a movement back up to retest that level of resistance over here. If we take a look at the momentum as well, we can see that the current RSI, or the movement of this oscillator based on this current daily candle, has moved back below a massive month-long downtrend, as well as a much higher time frame downtrend over here that's existed for the last 2-month period. So momentum for the time being has flipped negative, and if we want to see that flipped back to being positive, we need this daily candle to retest 100k and bounce and push the oscillator back above that trend line. If we fail to do that and we lose 100k as a base of support, we essentially risk a movement back into this macro channel, right? And that could go as low as $91,000, right? A movement all the way back down to retest the range low. Of course, we have lots of levels of support in between, which I'll talk about on the short time frame price action, but needless to say, a move back in to $100,000 or below $100,000 is really not what we want, right? That would negate the establishment of support over here at the top of that channel and all the bullish price action that we've had since, or the breakout essentially, right? And completely invalidate that narrative. In terms of I guess progressing and seeing a bullish reversal, what we also really want to see, besides from a bounce at $100,000, is the establishment of 102.5 as a base of support, right? What we failed to do in this rally. We want to see Bitcoin bounce on $100,000 and retest that as a base of support, flip that level on the high time frame, on the daily chart or the weekly chart, close above 102.5, and that would facilitate then a push back up to $108,000 and a break of that level. One last thing to take note of as well on this daily chart, if we pull up the Ichimoku cloud, is that the recent crash has caused us to now retest the leading span A, or the top of our Ichimoku cloud, once again providing confluence that this 100k level of support is extremely important for us to hold and to bounce from, in terms of continuing to validate the bullish narrative here, and that dropping below the leading span A and into the cloud risks a move, I guess, into the cloud, right? Which takes us again as low as the range low for that macro channel being $91,000. So really important price action over here. We'd really like to see this daily candle shift bullish. So with that in mind, let's move on to the short time frame price action. So moving on to the hourly chart, let's quickly talk about what's going to happen if we end up losing support here at 100,000 first, because we can see the levels that we would broach very clearly here on this chart when we take a look at historical levels of support and resistance, as well as the VRPV. So if we lose 100k support here on the short time frame, we're likely to see a drop into this volume gap, ending at the next available level of support at $97,000 to $98,000. We can see that level retested as a base of support and resistance multiple times in the past. If we fall below the base of that at 97,000, the next volume gap takes us right down to the next available level of support there, starting at 95,000. And then we have a last level of support just before the range low here at 93, we can see it acting as a short time frame level of support all the way back in early January. And then of course below that peak in the VRPV, that takes Bitcoin right down to 91, so the base or the range low of our macro channel here. Now, if we fall below 91,000, we have sell side liquidity at 88.8, I think. Let me quickly check on the daily chart. Let's have a look. So sell side liquidity is, it's changed actually. It's 89.1 thousand now. And then just below that, we have 85,000, wherein that is where in closing below, we risk a macro bearish continuation into this much larger volume gap here on the high time frame charts. Very unlikely price action. It's very far away. We're still, ages away. And if we take a look and zoom into the very short time frame price action, let's say the 15-minute or even 5-minute chart, we can start to see signs that the bottom potentially is in on the short time frame. At the very least, we have bullish divergence here from the last two lows on the RSI, followed by a double bottom here on the 15-minute chart. So it's quite likely we're seeing bearish momentum slow down here and potential signs for a reversal back upwards. And in that reversal is when we look for those signs on the daily time frame that we're seeing a genuine established bounce and reversal. Alrighty guys, that is all the analysis that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And if you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to BitUnext to get 15% off all of your trading fees. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!